It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. A very happy Friday to you. I'm Anastasia Palacios, and it is so good to be back in your company.
Yes, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. It's a fantastic Friday, and it's even more fantastic because Star is back. Star, everything fell apart when you were gone. The people at the airport started striking. The taxi union workers striking. Exuma had oil spill. Please don't go nowhere anymore, Star. We need you. The country needs you.
Oh, Mike, it's always good to be with you, especially. And I've been keeping up with the news. So many things going on in the country. And speaking of union and labor issues, it's always quite interesting. I've had the privilege and the pleasure of working with unions in the hotel, and then as a member of the National Flight Service Board many years ago. And so industrial agreements are always just interesting, Mark. And I wish that we could sometimes hear what our unions are fighting for and striking over. We get some of the details on the news, but not all of them. And it's just always quite interesting. I never want us to take for granted our unions because they fought for and continue to fight for rights of workers, which is so critical. I just wish that sometimes we could be a bit more reasonable but with our negotiations. But alas, this is the beauty of democracy, they tell me. And so, yes, just happy that I was able to get back in through the airport. Crowded and busy though it was, because I did come in on one of those days when they were striking.
Well, now that once they saw you walk through the airport, they were like, okay, everybody, it's all good. Star's back. Let's go back.
That's what happened. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, no, it's an interesting time in the country, but also an interesting time around the world. Having left Europe where they were having a heat wave out of this world, Mark, it was much cooler to be home in the Bahamas, if you believe it or not. And I think for me, the only thing I'm hoping comes out of what is going on there in terms of, drastic flight cancellations, not being able to take off from Heathrow Airport as a result of burning tarmacs because it's so hot. So many people being unprepared there, not having fans, not having air conditioning units because they're not used to heat waves that extend beyond a day or two, that it is a reminder to them that climate change is very real, that global warming is very real. And that they'll take some time now to really focus on how do they help small island states like us by lowering those carbon emissions. And I'm sure you could speak more to this than me as the environmental guy here. But it's just, I hope that they're not taking it for granted, that they're seeing the connection to what is happening to our climate and our world, and that this will, of course, somehow help them to do better at doing their part in getting this thing on track.
As the great Bob Marley said in one of his tunes, he who feels it knows it, Lord. And now the heat is being felt all around the world. And as you said, we all need to play our part. As a small island developing state, we have a smaller role to play, but a role to play nonetheless. And we just hope that the bigger countries around the world who can make a difference and have discussed how to make these differences, that they will execute and follow through on them. Before Star, I got to fly back to Europe and tell you all.
Well, yes, so many interesting things happening all around us, but some good things as well. Wanting to extend this morning congratulations to those nominated for the Top 49 Millennial Awards. We had Stefan Sands on the show earlier last month, and he and his team executed the pinning ceremony for those nominees this past week. And so we want to congratulate all of those that have been nominated. Of course, we look forward to seeing people like Mark nominated for year 50 as the country celebrates its 50th independence. But a big congratulations to Stefan and his team for a job well done. Also wanted to just take a moment, Mark, to just, extend love to my family, the family of Hillary Hyler. My father's anniversary of death was yesterday. And so it's been 11 years since he's been gone. And so to my aunts, his brothers and sisters, and to my own siblings, and of course, my mom, his wife, we just extend deepest sympathies and continue to hold space for you and for all those mourning at this time.
Yes, Star, very well said. As you know, we experience loss individually and collectively. I will encourage you by saying that your father's legacy lives on through his works, his deeds, and those lovely grandchildren of his. So stay encouraged and keep him in your thoughts and continue to live him through your works every day.
Indeed, Mark. Thank you so much for that. Well, we've got a great show lined up for you today. And of course, we're always happy when you can join us on Bahamas at Sunrise. We're going to be taking a look back at some of the conversations that we've been having recently, including one with Lincoln Deal, who is the founder, or the initial or inaugural president here in the Bahamas for a chapter of something called Forbes, the Culture. So we're looking forward to that conversation. And the National Training Agency will also give us details about what they are up to these days.
Looking forward to those segments, Star. The Public Hospitals Authority is here to talk about PHA Month, and It's Dia is here to perform her new hit single, Sunday to Sunday. Before that, you are invited to the Youth Connect Family Fair and Grill Game Day, happening next Saturday, July 30th, on Sequoia Street in Pinewood Gardens. Games, food, contests, bouncy castles, and more. It'll be fun for the whole family. Also, TCL invites you to attend our webinar discussing the government's policy white paper on digital assets, happening today, Friday, July 22nd from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. There's still time to register. Check out our TCL Facebook page for details. This event is free. Now, let's check in on weather with Brother Godfrey Burnside. Hopefully it's a nice sunny weekend.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at Sunrise, high pressure continues to be the dominant feature across the islands, and that supports some breezy conditions over the central and southeastern islands. Today, a mix of sun and clouds, still hot and humid, and you can expect a few afternoon showers, even an isolated thunderstorm. High temperature 91, heat index 101. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and muggy, with a few nighttime showers, maybe a thunderstorm popping up, the low temperature going to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Some reaching highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 88 and 80. In Jamaica, 88 and 78. In Trinidad, 90 and 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 90 and 78. Across North America, Atlanta, 89 and 74. In Raleigh, 92 and 73. In Miami, 90 and 79. Dallas, Texas, 98 and 82. And Toronto, Canada, 76 and 67. As you go through the weekend, nice weekend still weather-wise. Mix of sun and clouds, still hot and humid, but you can expect a few afternoon showers or a nightly thunderstorm, maybe even an early morning shower tomorrow. So temperature daytime will be around the 90-degree mark. At nighttime, the upper 70s to lower 80s at nighttime. If that puts you up in your first look at weather at Sunrise, I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you so much for the update, Godfrey. Well, our next segment, we're going to be featuring an outstanding young Bohemian, very well known in the community, both for his philanthropy and for his efforts as an entrepreneur. Lincoln Deal is now a curator for Forbes, The Culture, which is an organization dedicated to making sure that those in communities that may not have traditionally had access to entrepreneurship and those opportunities to make those businesses successful now has the chance. Here's Lincoln Deal with more. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Forbes, The Culture, an organization aimed at transforming communities through entrepreneurship, philanthropy, and leadership, now has a Bohemian chapter led by our next guest. He's here to tell us more. Lincoln Deal, lead Bahamas chapter of Forbes, The Culture. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, Lincoln.
Good morning. It is great to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you with us. Such an outstanding young entrepreneur doing really great work. And the first thing we want to understand, first of all, is how did you get connected with Forbes Under 30?
Yeah. And so, again, thank you for having me this morning. I got connected with Forbes, the Under 30 Summit, through back in 2016, actually. I traveled down to Boston. I was invited there to be a part of this conference to understand more about some new global opportunities, connect with other like-minded individuals and things of that nature. At the conference, we met with so many disruptive entrepreneurs in the United States, around the world, and it kind of grew from there. So from that conference, we all stayed in contact. We continued to assist each other as necessary. And later on, back in 2019, Forbes The Culture was officially recognized as the global hub and chapter.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Now, we talked about like Forbes Under 30, and then you've got like Forbes The Culture. So what is the Bahamas chapter of Forbes The Culture about? Is it the same thing, or does it look a little different?
Right, so it's relatively the same thing. What differentiates it is that, Forbes, being a 105-year-old organization, has always been, it's known for the Forbes list and then the Forbes Under 30. Forbes actually, helped to create this platform to create equitable pathways for persons of color that are also doing great things, because a lot of times there are, groups of individuals, parts of the world that are just still unrecognized. And so the Bahamas culture will be one of the first chapters of Forbes The Culture, and it's going to give Bahamians now an opportunity to participate with some of the mentorship opportunities, the network opportunities, be able to connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs around the world. For an example, Damon John is a mentor to this program. And so, persons that, want an opportunity on a Shark Tank or something of that nature will now have the opportunity to do that. And it's really exciting.
That's excellent. That's incredibly exciting. So many of our young people under 30 are quite interested in entrepreneurship. Certainly, the pandemic has made that even more of a viable option for many of them, and things like the Access Accelerator. So to hear about mentorship is a very big deal, especially mentorship and exposure outside of our country, which can, of course, bring ideas back to us. So that's really good stuff, Lincoln. How do you plan on building your Bohemian membership?
Yeah, so since the announcement, there's been a lot of amazing Bahamians reaching out on how to be a part of it. And one of the first things you can do is apply to the chapter. So this is at Forbes The Culture /Forbes or Forbes.com/Forbes The Culture. And you would be able to see the application process. That then comes to a back-end platform where both groups, look at the persons and, just invite them into the chapter. We're actually also going to be having a launch ceremony in a few weeks, and we look forward to bringing you more details as to that. We will have the Forbes culture head here in the Bahamas, and they will officially kick it off, launch it, and take it to where we're hoping that it goes. One of the things that we have been pitching to them over the past couple of weeks is possibly considering having one of their conferences here in the Bahamas. As you know, Forbes is well known and renowned for their conferences that has, some of the best global leaders, entrepreneurs, business people, philanthropists on one stage. And so from a tourism pitch, we are also looking at that, and also to give more Bahamians that opportunity to be a part of it. And so we look forward to sharing more details soon.
Yeah, that's exciting. Certainly, with the FTX conference having happened here, and so many conferences over the years in different spaces, we continue to prove to be a leading destination for that sort of event. So we're hopeful that Forbes The Culture will consider it, especially when you guys do launch officially in a couple of weeks here. Congratulations again on that note. And then, Lincoln, when you think about creating spaces that foster professional, social, and civic development, why do you think that Forbes The Culture is such a good place for that?
I think Forbes The Culture is now a growing brand that has more than 3,000 to 5,000 memberships globally. I believe that its ties with Forbes gives it that direct opportunity and link to connect with, some of the most renowned leaders, persons that are already successful in various industries, various platforms, and to help bring others along. And I think that's a big part of what the Forbes, the Culture Bahamas edition is. Basically, it's not just about, fostering that network of already successful people, but also trying to bring along others that are still developing their entrepreneurial, philanthropic, and leadership abilities and connect them with these global opportunities. I don't think that Bahamians are lacking in talent or ingenuity. I think we just need that opportunity, that platform to share our creative geniuses and take it to the world. And I'm hoping that this is just the beginning of what that can be and what that can look like. And there are already success stories from persons that are in Forbes, the Culture. I have a colleague that had a specific product, and through Forbes, the Culture, they were able to get it in the Walmarts and the Walgreens around the world. And so we want to connect Bahamians with similar opportunities, because we may be in the Caribbean, but it's one global loop.
Yeah, it is. And you just need the access, right? Certainly we have talent and the skills. And once you have the access, you can put some other things in place, especially now that, again, we have things like the Access Accelerator and more banks on board with loans, et cetera. So this really is a great time. And so, this is big, Lincoln. Who can be a member? I know that you guys will do the official membership launch later on, but is it only for entrepreneurs under 30? Will it be extended beyond that? Who can actually become a member of this chapter of Forbes, the Culture?
So it's definitely not just for under 30. I just want to make that clear. It is for persons that are, in business, philanthropy, leadership, that are looking to, expand their networks, to, tap into other opportunities, not just locally, but globally. And so, you can apply and join forces. We want the Bahamas chapter to be a renowned chapter, a known chapter, and a chapter that has a strong membership. And so that's incredibly important. And I'm sure that there's so many Bahamians that will do well from it.
Excellent. All right. And so, Lincoln, this has been incredibly educational. I think sometimes, even as people watch, they have a desire to learn even more than we're able to provide in the short time that we can speak. So I just want to confirm again. So if we wanted to look up Forbes, the Culture, just learn some more about the organization, we can go to Forbes.com, or where would we go for that?
Yeah, you can go to Forbes.com/Forbes, the Culture. And you would be able to find all of the details as it pertains to membership. When we have the actual announcement, there will also be another link that Bahamians will be able to apply to, but you can apply from now at that link. In fact, there have already been Bahamians applying there that we've been seeing. And so we look forward to having them as well. And you're right, Star, this is a great time for entrepreneurship with organizations like Access Accelerator, the Bahamas Development Bank, who just had a conference on the weekend, among other things. I think Bahamians are now moving into that space. And so we look forward to sharing more. And yes, you can apply now.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning, my brother Lincoln Deal. Incredibly proud of you as always, as you continue to just, innovate and create, and not just for yourself, but certainly for the country. And so we thank you again for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Anastasia.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Join the Click is an initiative started by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions last year, when we were trying to figure out how to help business leaders as well as consumers to stay connected. Working with Canoe, working with other partners, working with the government and My Gateway to help them to connect with customers who want to place orders and want to be able to do things in a digital way.
My Gateway. My Gateway is a groundbreaking portal through which clients can request and pay for government services online. We have 28 services. We expect to increase the number of services to a minimum of 200.
I love that we're helping the government and helping our citizens to be more efficient and to use their time more wisely.
I invite you to sign up for mygateway.gov.bs and let us make government work for you. Join the Click.
In the Bahamas, small business is big business. More than 90% of the businesses in the Bahamas are classified as micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center was created to serve them. We at the Access Accelerator offer a variety of services to our clients: business advisory services, training and entrepreneurial programming, mentorship and incubation, and advocacy.
And welcome back, Bahamas at Sunrise family and friends. Make sure to spread the word because we always have an exciting show for you and something that is so informative to share. I am delighted because I am here with two amazing women, and so we're going to get into the National Training Agency. They aim to create a workforce that is highly productive, service-oriented, globally competitive, and responsive to the dynamics of the Bahamian economy. That's important. Here to talk with us about this are Agatha Marcelle. Let me say that again. Agatha Marcelle, the Executive Chairman of the National Training Agency, and Nadine Frazier, Training and Development Professional at the Chamber of Commerce and a Director on the Board of the National Training Agency. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. It's delightful to be here.
It's great to be here. We are so happy to have you both. And first of all, I want to say you have great energy. And Agatha Marcelle, you are a legend. You are a pioneer. You have been doing this since the 70s and you have remained consistent. And we see the fruits of your labor, the manifestation of it, perhaps in its highest form, in the establishment of your brainchild, the National Training Agency.
Yes.
Has the agency been able to live up to its mandate to provide all that you have sought out?
Well, I believe we have. The mandate was quite simple, actually, and that is to prepare young people for work according to or responding to the needs of the economy. So our main function is to engage in activities and plans that help to make that happen. In the end result of that being a decrease in unemployment.
Right.
What I think is really important to know right off the top is that the agency is not a school and doesn't compete. It's a job preparation apparatus working through providers, industry providers. Providers also could be like a BTVI.
Right.
To train them to be able to go into the workforce with some limited knowledge and skills and ethics and all of those things that the workforce require.
Well, I hear you talk about these things and I'm getting goosebumps because I love the idea of collaboration and partnership.
Right. Yes.
And as we speak to collaboration and partnership, here from the Chamber of Commerce, we have Miss Nadine Frazier. And so can you please explain to us, you're also a director, let's talk about this partnership with the Chamber of Commerce and your role on the board of directors.
Well, I'm definitely delighted to be a part of working with Ms. Marcelle and her team. And at the Chamber, we want to make sure that we impact private sector primarily, but also too, we believe that if we can reach those persons who would be considered unemployable, we actually can make them productive. We can actually assist with the placement of those persons and a referral program into our private sector. And so they not only learn these skills, they understand there's a place to go once they have achieved these skills. And so that's what the chamber brings on board, that we have a lot of our members who are looking for persons who get on well. There's always times when persons are academically ready for the job, but they don't get on well. They don't do the soft skills. They have this attitude of I've arrived, and their work ethics is not exactly what you'd want. So there's still scope to speak to how we get them working well.
Right. And there's nothing like having the confidence of being ready to walk into an interview. And I want to speak to this because we'll say in the Bahamas, wow, we have so many people who say that they want the opportunity, but they are not prepared for it. What have you seen? Can you really take anyone and turn them around and prepare them for the job of their choice?
Yes, you can. We have done that over and over numerous times. We take these young people and we work mostly with those who need help. They came out of high school, they had limited or no BGCSEs, BJCs, maybe they didn't get the high school diploma. But we are assured, and when we set up the agency, we knew that God has given everybody something for them to work with.
Right.
At the agency, it's our job to find what that something is. So when we interview them, and after they apply, they come in, everything is free. We interview them, we talk to them about their interests, and then we send them out to our partners,
right,
our providers, according to their interests. And so because they're doing something they're passionate about,
yes,
like you mentioned, they excel. And we have had most organizations hire them.
And how many people have actually gone through the training agency?
We would be approaching maybe about 8,000 to 9,000 now. Wow. Yeah, that have gone through.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Let's talk about the development of the Nbo qualifications.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll just start by saying the NTA is a duly legislated body. A part of that legislation is that we work with what the legislation calls industry lead groups. Those industry lead groups, like Mrs. Frazier would have said, many employers form the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So they are in the best position to know what they need in any given job in terms of the skills for the job, the competencies for the job, the standards of the job. So they will sanction for us these occupational qualifications.
And that's what I wanted to ask Ms. Frazier. That's a perfect segue into this. What are some of the vital workforce skills that we need to be thinking of in 2022 and beyond?
Well, in 2022 and beyond, we definitely see the customer service. It used to be called customer service, but what we are now saying is that it is a service of culture, a culture service. And so you are not only there to say, I know how to put this on that side of the table or that side of the table. Service is your lifestyle. Service become a part of the culture that you've been ingrained, and everybody in that organization is a part of that sales culture and the service culture. And that's how the organization becomes more productive. And as they see that they are more productive, then they actually will continue to promote those individuals that are part of that process. We forget that when they come in, no matter where they are part of what is going to create and keep customers for that business.
What do you want people to know, whether it's the employer, the person who is desperate to find a job, that person who may be 20 or that person who may be 60, who says, I need to enhance or I need to brush up on my skills? What do you want them to know about what you do?
More than anything, before we send them out to practical skills, they must go through a soft skills program. Mm-hmm. And it's an intense soft skills program. The reason for that is employers tell us often, if they have the want to is embedded in the soft skills, we can teach them the can-dos, the skills.
Right.
So they must do the soft skills, then they go to the practical skills.
We have to go, but I know that you will be back. How do we get in touch with you? Because if I have a few hundred employees and I want to train them, there's a cost for that. And then we come through you and then we work that out and you customize the package for us.
That is right.
How do we get in touch with you?
National Training Agency, 461-6000.
Oh, that's a good number.
Yes,
461.
6000.
Thank you. And when you come back, we have to talk about your partnership with this institution in London.
Yes.
And that's big things.
Yes.
So we look forward to the next time. Thank you so very much. Thank you all for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We will be right back.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
I used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Well, Star
Okay.
is muted. Go ahead, Star.
I thought I was unmuted. I really recall unmuting my mic, but let's try that again. Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this fabulous Friday. I'm Anastasia Palacios. Thanks for staying with us.
Yes, thanks for staying with us on another fabulous Friday. We got Star back. Welcome back, Star.
Thank you, Mark. It's good to be back. And of course, it's been a great morning on the show. Loving hearing what's happening with the National Training Agency. And then, of course, seeing young people take the helm. You know, I keep saying young people, Mark, but I don't know if we're as young as we think we are. We might be slowly approaching middle age, but, you know, we can go with it. So we'll stick with that. Seeing young people do their thing with young people like Lincoln Deal. And so, indeed, the future of the country looks bright.
Yeah, I agree. I still consider myself young, even though every now and again when I sit down, I just make a little sound. I try not to cross over, right? But we part of the young people crew still, right?
Okay, I receive it. Well, these young people have got more to come in the second half in the show. We're really looking forward to a conversation with the Public Hospitals Authority and to see what's been happening with them.
And we're also going to have Bohemian recording artist, It's Dia. And she's going to be performing her song Sunday to Sunday. But before that, let's take a second look at weather with Brother Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather sunrise, Your tropical weather outlook: the tropics remain quiet, and a tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, that high-pressure system continues to be the dominant feature, and that will support some summertime weather conditions where we have a mix of sun and clouds with some afternoon showers. The near marine forecast today: those winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet on northwest Bahamas, easterly at 15 to 20 knots, sea 4 to 7 feet for the central and southeastern islands. On Sunday, continue east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest Bahamas, easterly at 15 to 20 knots, sea 4 to 7 feet for the central and southeastern islands. On Sunday, over all the islands, those winds are easterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 northwest, 15 to 20 knots, sea 4 to 7 feet for the central and southeastern islands. Your tides: you can expect a low tide at 9:50 this morning. The next high tide will be at 4:21 this afternoon. Low again tonight at 10:51. Sunset is 7:59 this evening, rising on 6:32. UV index 9. Your water temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase last quarter. Your external look: like a mix of sun and clouds throughout the weekend. A little bit more clouds on Tuesday with some more showers. The temperature daytime will be around the 90-degree mark. At nighttime in the upper 70s to lower 80s. That puts you wrapping up for look at weather sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. PHA is focused on improving their facilities and services, and they're beginning with a focus on people. July is designated as PHA Month, and here to talk with us about this are Andrew Edwards, Chairman of the Board of Directors, and Aubynette Rolle, Managing Director of the Public Hospitals Authority. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us dead early on this Friday. You know, I know Friday is usually the hardest day to come on the show because you just want to wrap in bed, just stay in bed just a little longer. But the weekend is here and we're so happy to have you on our show this morning. So tell us, firstly, what is the mission of the Public Hospitals Authority?
So the mission of the Public Hospitals Authority is to ensure that we deliver the mandate and in terms of administering and ensure the proper management of healthcare throughout the Bahamas. And so that's one of the things we want to do moving forward. And we're also moving forward with what we call a new mission and vision that you'll get to hear about later as we move forward to improve our healthcare system across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Now, that's very encouraging because I'm sure not very many people know exactly what the Public Hospitals Authority does, but it plays a very important role, as you mentioned, in managing the health system in this country. So tell us about the PHA Month Proclamation.
Yeah, so we are very excited. This is the first time within the history of Bahamas that the PHA is actually going to move forward with the proclamation. And so that proclamation will happen in the halls of Parliament. And it's a very exciting experience for us. So people get to understand not only what the Public Hospital Authority is about, but also recognizing the significant work that the public hospital does in terms of not only taking care of our patients, but also in the provisions of medical and surgical supplies, as well as pharmaceuticals. And so that's a very important role. And you are correct. Persons don't recognize that the Public Hospital Authority includes Sandilands Rehabilitation Center, Princess Margaret Hospital, Grand Bahama Health Services, as well as supplies management, as well as NEMS, the place that people call the ambulance. So it's a myriad of services that we offer to the people in need of healthcare services.
Wow, that's definitely amazing. It just in terms of the breadth that you guys cover and the importance that you serve, and once again in managing the healthcare system in this country. So we're talking about improving facilities and services, but also focusing on people. Tell us a little more on how you plan to do that.
So absolutely. So, this is something that is so important to myself and the chairman. If an organization is going to run well, the focus and the primary focus has to be on its people first. And because we are a service-driven industry, when we talk about people, we're not only talking about patients, we're also talking about our employees as well as family members. So if we were to talk about the patients, we're really now moving towards the delivery of what we call quality healthcare. So in doing that, we're trying to make sure, and COVID has taught us a lot of lessons, right? In terms of communication, we knew that we would have fallen down just like other places globally because persons weren't able to come into the facility. And like we always say, COVID is not gone. And so some of the things we're strengthening is communication between the provider of care and the loved ones, as well as the patients. And so we have moved forward to hire and augment persons that we call patient advocates that really come into the midst, to be able to have that discussion with the patient one-on-one, hear the concerns, make sure that that's delivered to the right set of individuals, as well as connect them with their loved ones. So we're very excited. You'll soon hear about some training that we're doing. We have a few, but we're ensuring that they are throughout the hospital. So that continuation of that communication is consistent, as well as they remain in those areas. So there's really that ownership and that willingness to help patients. So that's the people side of things, trying to strengthen that from the patient's perspective. As it relates to our staff, we want to make sure that we are providing for their needs as well. And they have done so well with the global pandemic. They've really done above and beyond. And so we're really trying to find unique ways to show them how much we appreciate them. Some of them nationally will be receiving awards next week for their service during COVID-19. And so we're trying to strengthen that. We're also trying to strengthen it by improving the place that they come to for the majority of the day. And so we're trying to improve our infrastructure, things like air conditions, all of the little things that not only provide a safe environment, have them comfortable and really wanting to come to work. So people is a key priority. We talk about 4 Ps now in the PHA. We talk about people, plant, which is infrastructure, processes, and policies, but we always remain that people are first.
I love that, the 4 Ps, and people are first. And in the midst of the healthcare system, yes, the technology and the medications and machineries are important, but the most important things in that system are the people that are the patients, and then those that are serving and helping them. So that patient care advocate, I love that idea. That's just something that's fantastic. So happy to hear that's happening. Mr. Edwards, so tell us about the introduction of the PHA Academy.
All right, well, the PHA Academy is something that I think is very dear to both myself and my director. She, although having been a nurse and a risk manager coming into this position, but she's very passionate about education. And for us, we look at the PHA where it is today, and we look at what are some of the challenges. One of the main challenges is the lack of human resources in key areas. I think you would have seen it in the press recently that there are considerable shortages in areas of allied health and other specialized areas. Those we can't necessarily bridge that full gap at this time, but what we've done is we're introducing a PHA Academy, which is going to be in-house, provide certification for a lot of our staff and healthcare professionals across the Lincoln Bahamas, and even those persons who are interested in coming into healthcare, where we're going to make first step in terms of bridging that gap and ensuring that there are trained persons who are qualified, that they up their skills to meet the needs of the Bahamians in terms of health. They're going to be, it's going to be partially online as well as in-person training. There'll be simulation labs, things of that sort. We've brought in a consultant already and started considerable work on it. And I expect in very short order that there will be a public launch of the PHA Academy. And it is something that we think is going to revolutionize and really change healthcare in the Bahamas and quality healthcare given by healthcare professionals.
That's definitely exciting news. And once again, following the theme of focusing on people, we all know that training is one of the most important things in the workplace and for anyone in terms of their career path and their personal development. So very excited to hear that you're focusing on your people and training, and I'm sure they're excited, looking forward to that as well. Mr. Edwards, so what are the PHA foundations and how will they work? And so we're talking about, a space for public and for volunteers to donate and contribute towards improvements and in quality and service at the PHA's institution. So tell us a little bit about the PHA Foundation.
Right, so PHA is in the process of formalizing and incorporating two foundations, one in the United States that is going to be fully registered nonprofit in the United States and provides Friends of the Bahamas an opportunity to donate to the public hospital authority and to receive various tax benefits, etc., as well as a local foundation that we are in the process of completing at present. These foundations will provide, like I said, opportunity for us to get resources. We know that for us, when we look at what we spend versus what we earn, there's a huge gap, and there's always need for things at the Public Hospital Authority. Anyone, you only have to look at social media, etc., to know that there's sometimes we are lacking in certain areas, and we have to find new and creative ways to provide those needs. This is really an opportunity for us to provide those, to go out, seek those things, but also to provide the accountability, which I think is the most important thing. If someone donates anything to Public Hospital Authority or any entity, they need to know where it went, what it was used for, and there to be full accountability and transparency. And that is really what this is all focused on, as well as getting civic society, individuals in the mindset of donating and giving to the PHA and offering their time, etc.
Yes, and you can give in many ways, as you said, time, talent, and of course, funds, right? So looking forward to those foundations being off the ground and for you being able to receive those contributions from the public because you know it's much needed, as you said, to help fill those gaps. As we wrap up, tell us what is happening for PHA month, Ms. Rolle. You got a fun run walk, health fair. What else is happening?
Yes.
Tell us.
Yeah, so really excited. So, you know, my minister, Dr. Darvel, is very keen on wellness. And so we're culminating the month now. And on next Saturday, July 30th, we'll have our fun run walk. Really exciting. Start at corporate office on 3rd Terrace. And then we will give you the route. We start at 6:30 for all the registrations. You can get it online and we'll send those informations out so that persons will get it on the social media. We're trying to encourage people because even after the walk, we will have our regular checks, you know, with glucose testing, blood pressure, have those key persons there to provide that information. What better place to be there than healthcare workers that can really give you that information and also make that referral. And, you know, and that is so important. But we will also have some other partners there who will be assisting and showing us, you know, some ways to keep in shape in terms of exercise, as well as other persons will be there to help us in terms of our eating practices. And listen, that's something that I want to get on board with, you know, because next year, this time, I hope to be a few pounds down. And so I'm really excited on there. I tell them I will be there. I'll see how far I could go, but I'm participating and I'll definitely be a part of giving the trophies away. But we really want to encourage the entire persons within the Commonwealth, wherever you are. You know, if you just want to make a visit to the capital for the weekend, please join us. It's going to be good. We look forward to getting people in shape. And so I'm sure the Minister of Health and Wellness will be there as well as we move forward with an initiative for the Commonwealth, not only for the Bahamas. And this is just the beginning of what we call wellness.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to hear about that event. The front one walk, health fair. The minister is going to be there at the front of the pack, right? And
I hopefully, I hope I haven't spoken, but he's been invited, and he has been a person who has always been front and center. And so even if he's not there, I think his message would be that we need to improve the way that we eat and also our exercise. And why not start it with the PHA on July 30th?
Very well said. Very well said. I know it's going to be a successful event as you celebrate PHA month. And we're talking to Chairman Andrew Edwards, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Public Hospital Authority, and Aubynette Rolle, Managing Director at the PHA. Talking Public Hospitals Authority month, lots of great things happening, focusing on people. We'd like to thank you both for coming on Bahamas at Sunrise dead early this morning and sharing with us what's going on with the PHA.
Thank you so much. And I hope to see you there on Saturday too.
Oh yeah, I got to lose a couple of them pounds too, so I can see you there.
Okay. Thank
you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Fredia Marjorie Major, known professionally as
It's Dia,
is a dynamic recording artist, songwriter, and aspiring actress. She's here today to perform her latest single, Sunday to Sunday. So good morning, Fredia.
Good morning.
Give me that name again.
It's Dia.
Absolutely. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So
Great.
tell us about your music. This is, I mean, you're just bringing so much energy and liveliness. Tell us what does that stand for? What is your music really about?
Well, I would use 4 words to describe my music. Really, I thought about this like last week. So I think the 4 words that I would use is exotic, cultured, international, and raw.
So you use a couple interesting words just now.
Yes.
One of which is exotic and the next one is raw. So
Yes.
talk to me about the choice of those 2 words in particular.
Well, exotic would come along with cultured because, of course, I'm from the Bahamas. And, you know, everybody likes a foreign lady. And then also, I call it exotic because, you know, I travel around the world a lot. I used to live in China. So I have friends from all over the world. So the exotic would come along with cultured because I've been around so much cultures, and I feel like the combination of cultures and just being different on a whole nother level is what brings that exotic flair, you know, not just being from the islands, but also being exposed.
Interesting.
Yes.
And what about the raw?
The raw is basically I talk what on my mind, you know. I come from a certain raw background, so my music, I'm a rapper as well. Yeah, so I rap and sing. I'm very versatile. So on my rap end, when it comes to raw, like I speak what on my mind, and I just talk facts. Most of my music is about things that I've experienced in my life. So that's why I would say raw, because I don't really talk anything that I've never, you know what I mean?
Okay,
Done.
so you're not, as they call it, a studio rapper.
No,
You
I'm
talk
not a
really
studio rapper. I believe in being honest because I feel like the depth of art, it comes from, you know, the soul and experience.
Okay.
I feel like even if someone that went through parents that divorced, you rap about parents that divorced, someone's going to relate to that because it's real.
So when did you start performing in terms of writing, singing, rapping? When did you start all of this?
I started like 3-4 years ago.
Interesting.
I woke up one day and I became really in love with music because I was a poet.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I want to be a rapper. And then I just started studying music, studying the business. I started going to the studio like every single day. And for the last 4 years, that's what I've done with my life.
So literally in 4 years' time, you've come from I'm a poet to now I'm a singer and a rapper to now having a collaboration with Charlie Black. Talk to us a little bit about that collaboration.
The collaboration with Charlie Black came out of nowhere. I tell everyone that is God. Because literally I'm a contractor and I have a Tyler that was working for me. His name is Bretta. He's a DJ as well from Jamaica. He says, oh my God, I heard your song. It's nice. I'm going to send it to Jamaica. He sends it to one guy, Biggs Hype. Biggs Hype, he's a selector down there. He then sends it to Crabber Genius, who is the manager, producer for Charlie Black. They sent us the song. Me and my team got on it.
they ended up loving the verses, and then we made something beautiful. So now the song is doing amazing, and it's charting, and it's all over the place. So I like to say it's God, because it was such different connections. It was so wild, it was almost like it was divine.
Absolutely.
So I give all praise to God for that, honestly.
Excellent. That's great. So you're now charting. You're still an unsigned artist?
Yes, I'm independent.
Okay. So now you have this song, Sunday to Sunday. What is this song about?
Sunday to Sunday is basically talking about just being free and partying. It has the instruments that's used in it. It gives you life. I think that Sunday to Sunday is just one of those timeless tracks that talks about, just having a good time and partying from, Sunday to Sunday.
Well, listen, I'm going to let you do your thing now. Let the people hear Sunday to Sunday right here live on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Bahamas best. The country boy again.
Him always call me for fun. From him see me waistline can't done. Wind up on him body from night till sun. He done with the killer slow eye motion. Skin all up on his body like a fine lotion.
Sunday to Sunday.
Anyway the fun day, just a new day in another area code. New balance speakers, pay for the features. Team unstoppable like every road.
Style and fresh out with every girl prefer. Anyway we pull up girl and shout out.
Ooh
Say me and the better man, she give me a set of man. Raise me a smoke it over. Ooh where them a eye, but I come on a start. Your girlfriend I choose me, but I love me fat. She land is running at the place, she knows me up the fat. She trending worldwide, them a local chart. Friday, all of them, but a long time we a kick the ball. My friend winning every inning, and with the young we not pretend. Fires the workers, them going to Ghana.
Me party from Sunday to Sunday, anyway the fun day. Just a new day in another area code.
New balance speakers,
pay for the features. Team unstoppable like every road.
Style and fresh out with every girl prefer. Anyway we pull up girl and shout out.
Ooh
me and the better man, she give us a tamal. Raise me a smoke.
Step up in the place and my drip drop nice, yeah. Slim the waist and my sit tight. The way I jiggle it, make him stand up right. He getting high up his body, it give me good appetite. Then I sip on it, juke, twerk, tick-tock, I wrote that book on it. Say that he in love, that he hooked on it. So baby, I just wanna party if I'm being honest. Pockets in my unfat, fat designer with the mismatch. Body on flick, I'm always on snatch. Cuban on the link, can nobody come touch that. Money always round everywhere, we are touch that. Style bring pressure, me done bust enough pipe. Party anywhere, me done got enough stripes. Sunday to Sunday, me I do it right. Stop ever behavior.
From
Sunday to Sunday,
anyway the fun day.
Just a new day in another area code.
New balance speakers,
pay for the features. Team unstoppable like every road.
Style and fresh out with every girl prefer. Anyway we pull up girl and shout out.
Ooh
me and the better man, she give us a tamal. Raise me a smoke it over.
Ooh
Y'all have you kiss me from the first day me born. Before money start, make you know that I the norm. Y'all face lined up when we a perform. Me she dream of walking arms in arms. Create a hurricane and me create storm. Living the happy life so me carry on. Lick a body buckle and I just so me go on. Channel 17 by the bar.
Me party from Sunday to Sunday, anyway the fun day. Monday to Sunday, anyway he want me.
New balance speakers, pay for the features.
Team unstoppable like carry every road.
Style and fresh out with every girl prefer. Anyway we pull up girl and shout out. Ooh so me and the better man, she give us a tamal. Raise me a smoke it over. Ooh
Team unstoppable, baby, I'm coming.
She boy again.
Baby, I'm coming.
Wow, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Listen, tell the people your name again.
I'm Uzdia. You know the vibes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
Definitely a wonderful musical piece. Listen, we thank you so much for joining us. Always good music here on Bahamas at Sunrise, our own local but international recording artist. We'll be right back right after this break.
Period.
Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you.
Have yourself a wonderful weekend. Get out, get some sun, plant some fruit trees, and I can keep saying, eat some ganap, mango, soursop, hilly, sugar apple, tamarind, all them. Get it in your body, and you'll feel nice and alive this summer. See you on Monday.
Bye.